enters our lives when we are born, and the relationship doesn't end until we die. It's an arranged marriage, a birthright, and depending on your story, it can be a blessing or a curse. Our money stories are rich and varied. These stories can connect or dissociate us, foster love or vengeance. Stories give us the space for compassion. If you think of compassion as the capacity to hold love and pain in your heart at the same time, then what this is all about is about helping us to foster a greater compassion for ourselves and for our clients. This process was born from the dream of integrating creativity with traditional financial planning, where we allow memories and experiences to surface and to become real and to make them whole. I invite you to reflect on your own money story and to consider the untapped wisdom that resides in giving creative expression to the experiences that have shaped you. It's time to begin the conversation amongst ourselves and with our clients. Despite the shame and guilt, despite the grief of missed opportunities, you are here right now. Thank you for considering a new approach to client engagement, one that invites creativity into the conversation, allowing a deeper look at the stories and experiences that shape our relationship with money. Imagine helping your clients build their wealth while also developing self-awareness. Here, creativity is the elixir, the medicine that heals disruptive beliefs and provides a window into the client's deepest desires. You can be the one to guide them through the wilderness using their own unique visual language.
I am 13 automatic monthly payments of $103.18 away from being completed with my student loan payments. I come from a background of artists and entrepreneurs.
I borrowed 4 cents from my teacher. I was in 2nd grade.
When I was a little girl, my sisters and I would visit my grandparents in Princeton, New Jersey. And the first thing that we would do when we went into their house was make a beeline for the pair of glass swans.
Once upon a time, before 1900, a little girl was born into a very wealthy family.
And I parked that big rig in the hotel parking lot and walked into my security job.
Some of the advice I got from my father in terms of finances when I was in college, and he said, "Don't bother, it's not worth it. Just pay the interest while you're in school. It's good for you."
On my father's side, businessmen.
So the next day, I had to bring 4 cents to repay my teacher.
Put together and the tie and
My mother knew that this was all going down, but my father did not, and he was the one on duty that day, and so I had to ask him for the 4 cents.
And she married a man 22 years older than she, whom she always called Dr. Mooney.
And I walked into the office, our security office, which is a little bigger than a coat closet.
And inside the glass swans were these coins. Well, as young children, it was as if the fairy godmother herself put those coins there. I live somewhere in here, in the middle.
I'm going to take the $113.19 that I've been paying toward my student loan, and I'm going to apply it and make the snowball effect on my remaining consumer debt.
How can I live my life and survive? Right? And that's where the money comes in, I guess.
I could tell that he didn't believe me.
I'm looking at my paycheck at $625-ish.
He gave me the 4 cents, kind of unwillingly, and I walked to the bus stop.
When looking up what it actually was, it was for healthcare.
But I didn't know how to get away other than my grandmother wanted me to be a nurse or a doctor.
And it was as we grew older and our grandparents, taught us about saving.
And oh man, I got a paycheck and I kept getting raises, and
I was making that same amount of money when I was 17 and 18 years old. And I am now 43 years old.
Well, my dad said, "You can't be a doctor. You're going to be a wife and a mother. You'll have to be a nurse."
And I was just, what do I do next? What do I do next? What do I do next? Following the path.
And there I was, and I spent the 4 cents.
But the lesson in it was that these coins were something that always appeared.
I was sucked in, I think at that moment, to a time warp. A time warp. Of what? And what did I do?
I have been creating my own education.
eventually, I was making a solid living and I had great benefits, and I hated my job. I hated my job. I hated my job.
But I've been feeling conflicted about money ever since.
Money has brought so much pain and suffering.
And so, for me, these little glass swans represented that.
I felt shame of decisions I made.
And the healing portion has been that I have been choosing my own path.
And that's just becoming eliminated in my story.
The abundance that is available in the world, and cultivating that relationship with money, that if I save or show up, that it will be met somehow and valued.
I don't know what I did wrong.
Stories captivate. Stories trap us. Stories ultimately heal us when allowing them to emerge and transform. Stories help us to connect the dots from our inner landscape to our outer behavior. I believe it's time for us to take note of the stories we tell ourselves about money, and the way we take the easy path of judgment rather than the steeper, more challenging path of curiosity.